Hey guys, welcome back to some more Raid Shadow Legends. In today's video, we're going to be looking at the one thing that single-handedly changed my entire raid game. That is the champion that got the speed boost. Now, looking right here at Deacon Armstrong, now this is super important, super imperative when you start looking at the speed buff that he provides within here and the aura. This is adding 19% ally speed in all battles, meaning he is an absolute priority, one of the top champions that I've seen when it comes to prioritizing and when it comes to speed. This is what changed my game. I was struggling going through a lot of content, going through and looking at a lot of dungeons, even looking at the guild boss itself when I was going through here. Minotaur stage, I was at about 12 or 13, kind of stuck, trying to build up some more 60s. All of a sudden, I popped him in this first little formation. Putting him in as my number one right here with the speed buff allowed me to absolutely dominate the Minotaur in here. And I've done this to all of the game modes that we've been kind of farming. And I went through literally putting him in that first slot with the aura. And I want to break down some of these auras that do make a really big difference and change the game and raid as we know it. Looking at right here with Kale, Kale does have this 15 HP. Now you have to pay special attention to the auras because some of them are very specific to game modes where they are prioritized. Because in here, when you're looking at the HP, not a huge effect in here. HP, I wouldn't really worry about. If you're going to do anything in here, we also do have attack, which again, in all battles with Supreme Glock is offering you 33%. I was always running him and I had always been putting him first, meaning he was the absolute primary one that I put in. Overall, just getting run over, couldn't take enough or was taking way too much damage. All of my heroes were dying out very fast until, again, I swapped into the speed aura. Looking here, Tagore, again, has an aura for all battles. The exact same with the Alice aura, but you'll notice right here, it is only 30%. So even if you're running an attack aura versus having, Supreme Glock, which is at a 33, you're getting 3% more. And honestly, this game is about a game of inches. If you have the ability to build up some of these champions a little bit higher, it is going to make a big difference. Now, one of the auras that I do not recommend whatever is right here. So the crit rate in Faction Crypts, now if she is the only one we're running, of course, if this is your only choice for an aura, but when you look at the aura in general and when you look at the crit rate, the number one priority when it comes to damage dealers within raid is getting your crit to 100%. Once it's at 100%, then the priority shifts into speed, and speed is going to really break it. Now, going back to my days of AFK Arena, where haste was the absolute priority, it seems to ring true in raid as well, that speed is the massive, huge priority that we see in here, and the ability to cycle through all of your skills a lot faster than the enemy, really being able to attack first before the enemy. But I'm going through some of these in some of the combat that we're seeing where I'm getting 1 full cycle, 2 full cycles just based on how fast the speed is going because of the speed aura. Now, there also do have resistance in arena. This is going to be huge in arena and in arena battles. When it comes to the PvP aspect, resist in the arenas are huge. I don't see a lot of champions that are really requiring it or even having the resistance built super high. Again, short of the PvP aspect, which is absolutely huge in raid, but I don't see it many other places. And even looking here, defense or resistance in the Doom Tower, battles by 55. So again, this is offering a little bit more resistance, but it is only one specific game mode, guys. You gotta know your auras, you gotta know who you're using in formations. And if you don't have a lot of the legendary and a lot of the epic heroes like I have, you can even look, there are a ton of auras that are even down here. Right here's 50 resistance in arena. Some of these basic champions will also have a very strong aura. And when you think of some of the game modes where you're running multitude of teams, it's going to make a big difference when you're running it in here. And even thinking speed in arena, again, Bushi, I know he's a little bit lower down on the tier list, but overall getting a 20% speed boost in the arena can make an absolute game-changing, it's between a win or a loss if you're going in here and you're running speed. And then we do have defense. Now, defense in dungeons, this aura could be useful. And overall, when we start thinking about stat priority, looking at, the attack, looking at the HP, I would really prioritize speed being number one pretty much in all of the formations. Defense could make a big difference just for the simple fact that every single hero that you have in here does use defense, where when we start looking bigger picture, there are some champions that use very different abilities. So even looking here for Kale, for instance, all of his abilities are based in attack. You can see buffing up, getting a higher attack, definitely going to be doing more damage. But then when we look at a few of these, some might be attack, some might even be coming in as defense. Some of them might even be coming in as HP. So it depends in really knowing your champions, knowing exactly what they are. Because in here, guys, if you're stacking a crazy amount of defense on this champion, then you throw them in an arena formation, then you beef up everyone's resistance by 90, means the majority of the crowd control, the poisons, the debuffs, everything else that we see, if your resist is high enough, is not going to affect you in its entirety, which is absolutely pivotal within that PvP realm. But of course, for me, this was my game changer when I put in Deacon Armstrong, not only having the ability, and in my opinion, guys, this is a lot better version of War Maiden because we are getting the defense decrease, which is the 60, so it is the larger one. You can see we do have to buff this up so it cycles through a little bit further, but we also get the turn meters. So fill the turn meters, all allies by 15%, decreasing turn meter of enemies by 15%, also giving us an extra turn because I do have all 3 of those ascended stars on there. This is every 3 turns. So if you think about it, when you're stacking artifacts on him, when you're buffing up the speed, then you have this 19% speed. Now, also, you have to remember when this is going in, this is kind of a multiplication factor with this 19%. So if you are not building any of your champions for speed, this could have little to no effect if you don't have speed. But then you also have to think where if you're building and you're putting speed on a bunch of different champions, the higher the speed that is going on there, the bigger the impact this is going to possess. For instance, right here, when we look at his total stats, you can see right here, speed is 162. Then we throw in the 19%, of course, that's going on there. Speed is going to go up much, much higher, trying to aim to around that 200 speed. And even looking where most of my champions are running about the 150, 160 for speed, some of them a little bit lower. And the reason for this is even looking at Tagore is I buffed his hit points and I buffed Tagore's hit points really through the moon because I wanted to have a much, much stronger shielding factor when it comes to here with the champion's max HP. And also the healing on here is another one that is huge. Again, I was running the HP auras. I was running the defensive, the attack auras, not having any luck at all until I got the speed aura. Once I did put the speed aura in here, that was my game changer. Absolutely made a big difference. Now I want to hop in here because there is also an event going on. Now remember, we have 4 void shards in here and we are only doing this at the buff. So we are not going to do and use any more of our shards. We have primordial shards or primal shards. We have sacred shards. We are using this when this is buffed. So when we have the ability to have a higher chance, when we have that 2x chance of using it, this is where we're going to use it. Mercy system, going to take a long time to get through here, but eventually we are going to get them. So I'm hoping out of all 4 void shards, we might have the opportunity to pull one of those epic or legendary champions. Now these are only void champions. If you remember, when it comes to our synergy, when it comes to our affinity, these 3 kind of working together. One is stronger versus the other. Void down here stands alone. The Void champions do stand alone even when it comes to damage. They have no natural affinity that is going to do more damage to them at all. Target champion boost, check summon info for details. 2x chance of epic and legendary champions. This is really when you should save your summons, is when you get this 2x. We want to see the 2x. So let's go in here. We have 4 summons in total. Maybe it's going to be something good. Chances are it's just going to be the rare champions like we've seen. But also remember, these are rare void champions. So even if we get, and there is one specific, that if we get a rare void champion, some of them are super effective in this void realm. But also thinking about the void champions is even getting the rare ones are going to make a difference, because there are so many different game modes we're running with the barbarians in here that it's going to make a big difference building these out and having them built up a little bit further when we go in and we need void champions for a lot of different places. And even right there is Harvester. Very cool looking, guys. Some of these champions are kind of crazy. Fingers crossed, guys. Our last summon in here for a void shard. Could we pull something good out of this one? I'm assuming it's going to be a rare, and it is another rare. And we get a second one. I believe we just got him, but that also gave us 400. I believe it was 400 in total when it came to getting the champions, and when it came to getting some more points with out of the tournaments itself. And again, we're kind of double dipping for all of these. So looking in here, guys, we're picking up another 100 energy. We're placed number 5 right here. So if we get some more resources out of here, absolutely want to do this. But any single time that we can get loot for free. Now looking in here, I'm going through champion chase, tag tournament. You can see we're already driving this up quite a bit. We're in 3rd on this one. This is all through regular gameplay. Even looking here, I know I haven't done much gear, which I haven't done any since we've had that. Oh, because that's the Sand Devil. I'm not doing the Sand Devil right now. Dragon Tournament, again, I'm not to level 20 for the Dragon Tournament. We're not really farming it. Not really too concerned with building this. You have to make sure that you're doing an champion training. I've been doing a lot. You can see we just did pick up this Void Shard. We are now number 6. Have to get some more champions. Going to pick up some more loot out of here. But even getting in, the top 10, any place that we can come in here, we can farm additional loot. We continue building out our champions is a win in my book. Again, this is through regular gameplay. Even looking here at the Fusion warm-up, this we have capped. We capped yesterday at our 15 points. Today, we're going to cap at our 15 points to get everything out of here as well. And then we do have the Dungeon Divers. This, again, we're almost to 800 right here. This is through regular gameplay. This is farming that 12-3. Going through regular gameplay, just picking up silver, mortal coins, XP brews, greater arcane potions, picking up everything we can within here. That is literally free loot for what we're farming anyways, as we're going through. And you can see, guys, energy is kind of abundant right now. Just had the reset, and we are on day almost 30. We're waiting one more day, guys. Tomorrow we get High Katoon, and we are going to build her out. I have a lot, and I have been working on a lot of food. Also do have the latest poll up over on YouTube. That way you can check it out and see exactly who we want to build up to that next level. Because looking here, I'm Deacon 1. I absolutely want to build, and I'm going to build him up to 5 stars, getting him built up a little bit further. Just for the survivability aspect in a lot of different game modes and being able to use him in that PvP aspect. But also we want to get some more 6s. Now in here, guys, we have Kale, we have Supreme Galak, we have Tagore, we have Alice. We are starting to get a lot more of our 6-star champions. Even looking here at Alice, I went in here and I want to get the basic skill. Got to get some more stars on here, at least those next 3. That is going to give us the ability to go ahead, and we already do have all of the souls because we know Alice was free. So right here, we do have the 3, the 4, and the 5. We just have to get her ascended and then throw those red stars on there, which of course are going to amplify the damage she's doing through the roof. And I'm building her as a straight nuker. Looking at the skills and abilities she possesses, it is kind of crazy how much damage she can put out in a very, very short amount of time. All right, guys, so that is going to do it for today's video. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. And as always, thank you guys for watching.